Hey dudes and chicks, and neither if those rules don't apply to you. Welcome to Makeup for Lost Time. My name is Katie. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to be doing a palette collection and declutter. There are some palettes that I have here that I've actually already decided to declutter a long time ago, but I kind of wanted to show you guys like what I have, what I've been interested in, how my tastes have changed. And so if you guys are interested in seeing, I feel like I have like 85 or 90 palettes. This is not the first time I've gotten rid of palettes. Yeah, I have pretty close to 100 palettes, like 95 or 100. And so if you guys are interested in seeing what all's in my collection and what things I want to get rid of, then stay here. Okay, I'm going to start with some obvious cuts. I'm going to go by brand. So this is my shelf. I just put this up to organize my palettes because I have so many palettes, and I'm not going to do a huge declutter, but there are definitely some palettes that I'm definitely going to get rid of. And some things that are kind of going to be like a use it or lose it. I'm going to film looks that I do with palettes that I've been wanting to get rid of and decide whether or not I'm going to keep them. A lot of my neutral palettes, I fucking hate them. So anyway, I'm going to start with the Juvia's Place Zulu palette, and it looks like this. I actually I've used this palette one time. I looked like a parrot. I have kept it for these two colors right here. And also this pink right here is really cool. It's kind of this rose gold. And I just love that color so much. But you know what? Like, not enough to keep, like, I've never used it. I've never used this palette once. So I'm getting rid of it. No hard feelings. Like, honestly, this is a great palette. I just have 100. I have so many of these two colors. It's fucking excessive. So if I continue to talk, like, all this much about every single one of these palettes, this fucking video is going to take a fucking eternity. Yeah, you guys might want to grab a snack or a smoke or a loker. Go do a blast. Because we're in it for the long haul on this one. So this is my Juvia's Place, The Tribe. The color story looks like this, and I fucking love this palette. This is one of my favorite browns in any palette ever. Yeah, I love this color story. It makes a lot of sense to me. I can get a lot of looks by using this green with this green, or like I can actually like use this brown and this orange, or this brown and this green. I can kind of just mix any of these colors together. So I love this palette. It's like just one of those great grungy palettes. Honestly, just this dirty brown right here is a game changer for this palette. I've never actually used this dark green, but my taste in green is starting to change, so we'll see. So I'm keeping that. The Be Perfect collaboration with Stacey Marie Carnival palette. This is the color story. This is the original one, and these are the highlighters. I actually never really used this palette as much until now. I use this palette a lot more because I'm such a huge fan of the other Carnival XL Pro, which looks like this. This is my favorite palette of last year. This is what the color story looks like. It just makes perfect sense. All these colors build on each other, each row. Your warm tones, your cool tone pinks, your cool tone greens, and then your neutrals, and there's a cool tone neutral and a warm tone neutral. And so I mean, this palette is my favorite palette from last year, so it's not going any fucking where. My Neon Drip palette by Poppi Cosmetics. You guys know how much I love this bitch. The shimmers in this are out of this world. This color Lit, you guys know. I just love that color right there. I actually wore my sweats so I could wipe my fingers on them while I'm swatching shit and taking way too long. This is the Give Me Glow Juicy Olive. I love this palette. It's amazing. These two shimmer greens are bomb. This dark green, I mean, it's just it's really easy to get a really great look out of this palette. And there's a couple different combinations that you can use easily. Like if you put some thought into it, you could get 3 looks or 4 looks, but I'm just saying like easily. And dude, this green right here, I love this green right here. It's just got a little bit of a bright tone to it. So it's grungy, but it's also kind of bright. I don't know how to explain it. This is a great palette. I'd actually like to own more palettes by this company. I love Give Me Glow. I have 2 of their highlighters. They're fantastic. This is the Blush Tribe Paulina palette. You guys know I love Paulina. I love this palette. This is my first video. My first video that I ever uploaded on YouTube was with this palette. So I love this color story. This green right here is amazing. I love these two pinks, this purple, the way it builds. It just makes a lot of sense. These shimmers are all beautiful. And Blush Tribe is closing down. So I actually pre-ordered the Hasina 2 palette. And so she said, I don't know when you'll get it, but if you want it, this is your last chance. And I was like, bitch, I fucking want it. So it's sad that badass brands like Blush Tribe are closing down and shithole brands like Morphe are fucking doing better than ever. I'm gonna just start going through my pile of single palettes that I only have one from every brand. I don't have any palettes that I don't really care for the brand except Morphe. Okay, so this is my Dose of Colors Desi and Katie Friendcation palette. And the color story looks like this, but I do not want to tip it up. So initially, this palette is like $55. And initially, I bought this palette and I didn't use it for like 2 months. And when I actually took it to my cousin's house, just to drive an hour and 40-minute drive, when I got there, I went to use this palette for the first time ever. And when I lifted it up to look in the mirror, this blue right here just exploded all over the place for no fucking reason. And so I emailed the company and they sent me a brand new palette, which is totally awesome that they did that. However, I don't travel with this and I don't really use this because like I don't even like to fucking touch it. I don't even like to open it. So I've actually heard somebody say that this blue right here is like dupeable in another palette. I'm gonna swatch this and I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it. This blue has a pink fucking shift. You can't see it, maybe right there. I never saw it until I put it on. It actually shifts to pink. It's like purpley or whatever, but it's like, it's like dark blue with a pink shift. I've actually never seen anything like it. This is a neutral AF palette. This is a fucking what would a square wear, but like I'm not getting rid of it because of that blue, and also because like it's nice to have some neutral palettes, but I don't fucking know why, because I literally never fucking wear them. I did a video, a what would a square wear video using this palette and didn't even upload it because I thought it was so fucking boring. Okay, so I'm not getting rid of this. Like it has a special, like it was too expensive. It was too expensive. And that blue, like on the off chance that I ever want to do a neutral look with a pop of blue, you guys know how we feel about that. I'm keeping this palette. This is my Tokyo Harajuku palette by Nomad Cosmetics. This is what the color story looks like. I still need to do a 3 looks 1 palette with this bad boy. It's totally amazing. I love it so much. I love this palette. It's not going anywhere. I love this palette and I love this brand. And this palette is fucking cute. Okay, this is my Pat McGrath palette. It's the only one I have. This palette is $125 and this is what a $125 palette looks like. So it's the Mothership 5 or whatever. Honestly, I've never done a look that I loved out of this palette, but I keep this palette for this color right here. It's like yellow, green, pink. It's kind of like electric in the Subculture palette. These are considered the special shades by Pat McGrath. I don't know if you can see that shift right there. But honestly, when I put it on, it fucking looks amazing. This other like rose gold red color, it's more like a glitter. It's whatever, it is what it is. Then this white color is like actually like a yellow. I don't know. So I don't get rid of it because I spent too much money on it. I used my taxes last year to buy this, and I just, honestly, this like dark purple right here, every time I use it to deepen up my crease, it just like turns out like shit and it takes over the whole look. And this right here is this right here is too warm and too light to be my deepening shade. It just never works. I don't love this palette, but I keep it because I spent a lot of money on it and for that one shade. This is another one, my ViseArt Shimmers palette. It's all shimmers. The thing about it is that I love the shimmers in this palette. Every time I've ever used this palette, I get a really great result. It gives me really good looks. This shadow right here and this shadow right here are like 2 of my favorites. But the thing about these shadows is they're all so fucking dark. Like it's either beige or dark. It's all dark shimmers. Like there's no medium, there's no mid-range tones, like a cute like pink, or I don't know. It just seems like they could have done a lot more with the color selection in this palette, and it feels like a lot of the best, like the metallic and the foiled shimmers are like, I don't know. Actually, I need to use this palette more, but this palette is $175 and it's worth it. I just don't use it as much because the shimmers, they always seem so dark. Oh, I just want to tell you guys, everything in this pile of singles, I'm not decluttering. I don't even know what I'm doing decluttering. This is my only Natasha Denona palette. It's the Natasha Denona Gold. It looks like this on the cover. This palette's $129 and this is what the color story looks like. It's basic as fuck. And I honestly, I never use it. I've used it like 3 times and the only reason why I keep it is because of this mustard seed yellow. But actually, I feel like I could, the more I'm starting to get into green, oh yeah, in this shift right here, bitch, forget about it. Oh my God. It's yellow, green, orange. I love that fucking color. Yeah, so anyway, let's try this green right here. Because the more I fall in love with green, the more I think I could use this. Oh my. So anyway, the more I like fuck with green, the more I start to get into it, the more I think I could actually use this palette a lot more. And honestly, it doesn't matter whether I do or not because this motherfucker ain't going nowhere. I like it. I just don't use it that much. But when I am going for a neutral look, which is never, this is a good palette for me to use. I just don't reach for neutral palettes. Browns, they're just not my thing. This is the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette. I've literally only worn this once. I was gonna say I haven't ever, but I did try to wear it once. And I tried to mix this purple and this orange together and I didn't know what I was doing back then, and so it didn't work out. Why do I keep this palette? Why? Why do I keep it? This color. I decluttered my Kathleen Lights Zodiac palette because I had that color, and the only color that I really loved in that palette that I didn't want to live without was, I think it was Scorpio, was this color. It was very similar to this, and so I decluttered that and kept this. And there's this color, Your Majesty. I don't know. I feel like this color is really spectacular, but I never. What the fuck am I going to do with this? And honestly, it seems like this is the deepest shade that's in this palette, and that's not enough for me to get good depth on the crease. So anyway, maybe I'm gonna do a use it or lose it on this palette and be done with it because I'm fucking sick of its shit. I'm either gonna keep it and fucking commit to it or I fucking ain't. Okay, this is my Affinity 2 palette by Certify. Now Certify is, the person who owns Certify is the sister of the person who owns Blush Tribe, and this is the Affinity 2 palette. And it says, dream without fear, love without limits. This is what the color story looks like, and there's no fucking way I'm ever getting rid of this motherfucker, dude. I'll probably do a 3 looks 1 palette or 1 look with it here pretty soon because it's spring. Blue and green represent spring to me, like water and plants. That's not going anywhere. Here's another blue and green palette. It's the e.l.f. Earth and Ocean palette. I actually did a look with this and filmed it and didn't upload it. This is a fucking really good palette and it's super affordable. It's 14 bucks and a lot of these shades are really good, especially this color Saltwater is like really badass. This color there, it's like it's called Saltwater and it's literally like a white to periwinkle to lavender shift. I got it because Jen from Beauty Riot X, it was in her favorites from the year, and I saw it at Target and was like, bitch, I'm buying that. My daughter was like, Mom, you don't need another palette, and I was like, okay, I won't get it. And then I waited for her to be gone and I went and bought it. And so I've only used it 1 time, but the look I got was with these blues right here. Anyway, it was a really cool look. It looked really pretty and I really like it. And then I have my Alma palette by Amy Hearts Beauty and Amy Loves Makeup. Now, this is what the color story looks like. I love this palette, and I've heard that some shit about Amy Hearts Beauty maybe not being the most, not having the most integrity when it comes to her dealings with customers or with collaborators. And so I don't know. honestly, I never would have bought this palette if it wasn't an Amy Loves Makeup palette. And although I love it, I love the color story, I love the formula, I had no fucking problems with this, I wouldn't continue to support this brand. So I'm glad that I have this palette though. I'm keeping that. This is my P. Louise palettes. This is the Secret Center palette. It looks like this. They're a brand that's based out of the UK. This is the color story. I love this formula. I love this palette. I love the color story. I love these dusty pinky colors. I love these cool tone colors and this pop of color in the middle. I love this palette. The one thing I don't like, it's hard for me to use palettes that are all matte. So I don't reach for them as much because like I want shimmers. And then this is my Love Tapes palette from P. Louise, and I actually haven't used this yet. It came with a broken highlighter and it kind of made a mess out of the palette, and it made me not really want to use it that much just because it's so fucking dirty in there. But this is the color story. This was their Valentine's palette, and so I couldn't afford it during Valentine's Day, and it takes so long for P. Louise to ship to the United States that I just haven't gotten around to using it. I'll probably do a Pop This Palette's Cherry sometime this week, maybe this weekend even. But I love the P. Louise. I love P. Louise. I love the formula. I love every single product that they come out with. Seems to make a lot of sense to me. So anyways, they're kind of a brand that I always aspire to own more of. And when they came out with that palette, I wouldn't have gave a fuck what the color story was. I had to have it. So that's my P. Louise. And here's my Jeffree Star. I have the Beauty Killer palette. I've already this is what the front looks like. This is what the color story looks like. I have never been able to make any fucking sense out of this palette at all. Like, it just does not make any fucking sense to me. So I'm giving it away. I already gave it away a long time ago. I just haven't sent it in the mail yet. But I did want to, since I do still have it, I wanted to include it in my palette declutter because I'm decluttering it. This is my Thirsty palette. This is the Jeffree Star Thirsty palette. This is the color story. I literally keep this palette for this row. I don't give two fucks about any of these shimmers or any of this. It's really this color, and this color that I keep this palette for. Taste Buds, Bitch, and Kumquat. And I just love those three colors so much that that's what keeps me coming back to this palette. I actually have a dress that I wear. Every time I wear this dress, I wear that row of colors right there. So like literally I keep it just for that. I haven't had any desire to do anything different. I've never tried this row. This is what most people bought this for, but that's just not really. When I bought this palette, I had no fucking desire to use a teal, a blue, or a yellow. So today that's not the case, but this is my Jeffree Star Bluebud palette. It looks like a coffin or a casket. It looks like a casket. This is the color story on the inside. I fucking love this palette. I literally have so much more to like experience with this palette. Like, look at this fucking blue right here. I've never worn it, but holy shit. And then Ice Tray, boom. Oh man. I did quite a few looks with this palette just recently. Well, 2 at least. And I just love this palette. And the more experience I get, the longer I'm into makeup, the more I really love blue eyeshadow, green eyeshadow. Oh my god. Look at those 2 blues. It's phenomenal. It doesn't even come off. Look at it. That was 2 swipes with a really good makeup wipe and didn't come off. This is my Jeffree Star Blood Sugar palette. This is like never going anywhere. This is like one of the best red palettes that I think has ever existed. The color story looks like this. I fucking love it. I'm actually about to use it to do a look. Whenever I want to create a red look, this is my go-to palette. This color right here, Prick, bomb. I fucking love this color so much. Same with Cherry Soda and Blood Sugar, I mean, this color story is amazing. This color Sweetener is like a gold with a pinky shift to it. It's so fucking beautiful and it's not dupeable. Like, I've never seen anything like it. So I love this palette. I love most of Jeffree Star's shit, period. Normally when I get something from Jeffree Star, it doesn't go anywhere except the fucking Beauty Killer palette, because I don't even know why I bought that. I wanted the pink. I was drawn to the pink and I didn't know then what I know now. I'm about to run out of tape. How fucking old am I? Okay, so the next one is my most recent purchase from Jeffree Star. This is the Bloodlust palette, and this is what the color story looks like. I love this. It's the same, like Jeffree Star, like some people say like Jeffree Star's formula isn't their favorite, and that may or may not be true. I think his mattes work great. They're super blendable. They always have like, they're good. And honestly, like the Blood Sugar and the Blue Blood palette have totally unique fucking shades to that color category, like the blues and the reds. What I am gonna say is this color Beauty Sleep and this color Betrayal are just like that color that I don't remember what it was, but that gold and it's got a pinky shift. These shifts are like, they're not like the most foiled shimmers. They're almost like satins. They give you that kind of a sultry look that it's not like blinding fucking foily metallic like liquid gold or whatever, but they have that shift in them that just makes them look like super cool. And I feel like that's kind of, I don't know, like Jeffree Star just has that. He always has a certain color that's just got a little shifty like that, you know what I mean? Let me see. That color Ice Tray is like one of those shades that's like, it's that light blue that I just showed you guys. It's like gray and it's got that white shift. I don't know. I digress. I'm going to go into my ColourPop palettes. So the first ColourPop palette I'm going to go into is Strawberry Shake. I actually like this color Berry Fine, and that's the only fucking reason why I keep this palette. It's just such a cute orange-red shift. I should just pull it. I should just pull it out of the palette and keep it and get rid of the rest of the palette. But it's like, that color alone is so beautiful and like it's just peachy goldy. Now this is the main squeeze palette and I actually really do like this palette. I like the color Maraschino. I like this red. It too is a red with a peachy gold shift, but like I also like the color Home Slice. I like this color Like It's Hot. I think this palette is cute, and it when you want to like a little bit of a red look. I guess some people it doesn't look that red on, but it looks fucking red on. This is the Orange You Glad palette. I've literally never worn this. I'm putting it on the use it or lose it list. Like I'm gonna do a look with it if I don't like it. I have a thing about orange. I fucking love orange. I'm not sure that this is the palette to satiate my fucking lust for orange. So ColourPop Blue Moon palette. This ain't going nowhere. This is my bitch. I fucking love this palette. I love all of these colors. This color story is amazing. The Aha Honey palette. I love this palette. I'm definitely keeping it. It's amazing. I can't stop. I have used this palette more than a lot of my palettes, and it doesn't even have any dimension. I love this color Buzzkill right here. It's bomb. So this is the It's My Pleasure palette. I've only used this palette one time. It's a different day. I'm finishing up the palette collection because I ran out of room on my memory card, and then I actually had to go through and clear out all of my memory cards because I didn't have any room on any of my memory cards. So here we go. So I'm going to actually backtrack a little bit. I love these. I'm not decluttering this. I'm back in swatch mode, by the way, with my sweats on down here. So I have Tangerine Dreams from the Orange You Glad palette and Squeeze Me. And look at how badass those colors all look together. Like, I'm not getting rid of these palettes. I love these 9-pan palettes from ColourPop. To tell you the truth, we're going to move on into a couple of other ColourPop palettes. And the last ColourPop monochromatic palette that I have and that I love is the Smoke Show palette. I actually have the original. I think now it's called like Blowin' Smoke or some shit like that, but it's the Smoke Show palette, and it fucking looks killer. I mean, this palette is amazing. It makes me look like a different person. I actually look like, I mean, I don't know. It actually just makes me look like super like classy. I know it looks like it would look like trashy, but it doesn't. Like I look so exotic. I look exotic in this palette. It just like does something so different for me. So anyway, I'm keeping all of my ColourPop monochromatic palettes. Okay, and so I have the ColourPop Perception palette, the collab with Shayla and ColourPop. The palette looks like this. It's fucking cool. I mean, it's awesome. It's a warm tone. You can do warm tone look with all of these shimmers. They're super cool. This shimmer September, I mean, when a shimmer's named September, I can't help but love it, right? It looks like that. It's that same like dusty magenta color that I love. And then also this color Sassy right here. It's actually, it looks like this, and I've talked about this on another video, but it's like the ABH Jackie Aina palette, and I think the color is Sponsor. It is like very similar to this, so it's that greeny brown shift. I literally just keep telling myself I'm gonna use it. I keep telling myself I'm gonna use it. I never fucking do it. I'm over it. I'm getting rid of it. It's going in the declutter pile. Okay, and then the other ColourPop palette. So I've actually already decluttered all of my ColourPop palettes. I gave the Yes Please away. I gave the Kathleen Lights, both Kathleen Lights. I love Kathleen Lights, but I literally never wear those fucking palettes. But here's the one that I've been holding on to. It's the Element of Surprise. The cover looks like this. The color story looks like this. Honestly, every time I open it, I'm like, why don't I use this? And then this color right here, it's this shimmer up in the corner. And actually it was broken when I got it. But there's just something really like, I don't know. It's like got like a, it's orange, but it's got this like purpley, like lavender shift. And it's just, I don't know. It just keeps me, dude, I fucking love me an orange, dude. Like, I am so drawn to orange. So, like, anytime there's, like, some strange kind of orange, and you guys are going to see this, like, where I keep palettes that are, like, all the same colors because I want to keep the oranges. But I literally never use this palette, and I'm fucking getting rid of it. Somebody's going to love it. I look at it, and I love it. I just don't ever use it. And quite frankly, that's the case with every ColourPop palette I've ever had, except the monochromatic palettes. The monochromatic palettes are unusually easy for me. Like, honestly, I don't normally like a palette that I look at and just have a look like that. Like, I'm not drawn to that. I like to think about what I'm going to do for my looks, but there's something about those ColourPop palettes that, like, when I don't know what I want, or when I'm in a hurry, or like whatever, like when I know I want to definitely wear yellow, I just grab the Honey palette, and I don't fuck around with other palettes that are more complicated, right? All right. Okay, so my next palettes are the Moonslice Beauty palettes. I just did a Pop This Palette's Cherry on these palettes, so you guys should have just recently seen these. These ones aren't going anywhere. I definitely want to do 3 looks with this. This, literally, like, I fucking love this. And honestly, I don't have the Just My Luck palette from ColourPop, and I always think I want it, but I think that this will suffice. And so I'm going to do some looks with this and see how it goes. But yeah, I'm not getting rid of either one of these. And I have a lot of all purple palettes. In fact, I've considered doing a battle of the purple palettes just because I have so many monochromatic purple palettes. For a while, I didn't even like purple on me, but now I love it. So I don't even like purple on me. Should I do Morphe? I'm gonna go through my Morphe palettes. It's ridiculous. I literally feel fucking, I have Morphe shame. Okay, I have all of the Jaclyn Hill Vault palettes. You guys have seen these, no doubt. I have the Armed and Gorgeous palette, and it looks like this. Love this color story. I love the way these perform. I love this palette. This is the Ring the Alarm palette. I love it. I think it's great. This is the Bling Boss palette. I actually feel like I should declutter this. That purple. I think that if I took this purple out, it would really just be like this. And I have this in a few different palettes, this kind of theme, so I should just fucking get rid of this motherfucker. Somebody will love it, and it ain't me. Yeah, I think I'm gonna declutter this. Yeah, I mean, I have this, almost this exact same color story numerous times, but literally this row right here, I feel like this row in the Carnival XL Pro palette is like damn near that color story exactly. And I have it in a couple of other different places, which you'll see here in a bit. But this is the Dark Magic palette. I've never used this. I definitely want to give it a try. I think I'm going to put it on my use it or lose it pile because I never used to really like this color story, and I just bought this because I needed this green right here. but the more my taste has changed a lot, and I actually think I would really love this color story now. And so it's springtime, it's time for greens. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in my use it or lose it pile. Okay, so that's just these. This is the Morphe 3503 Fierce by Nature. The cover looks like this. The color story looks like this. I literally I was certain I was gonna declutter this. I love these oranges. This row right here is like fucking bomb. But if you guys, I mean, it's so hilarious because if you look, this sequence right here is like, okay, hold on. So I took this, and this is literally like the bottom row of the Thirsty palette. So it's like so fucking close to identical. It's hilarious, actually. I can't even, I don't know. So what do I do? You know what I mean? I'm gonna put this in the maybe pile, and I'm gonna put this in the maybe pile too. This is the Jaclyn Hill 2 Volume 2 by Morphe, and I love this color story. And honestly, like, I love it so much I would just sacrifice all my morals for it. So I'm keeping it. Like, I love every fucking color in this. This is the Morphe 35H Hot Spot palette. The color story looks like this. Same thing. I love this color story. Like, I think it makes so much sense. It makes more sense than any other Morphe palette ever. Not to mention the fact that there's literally like one row of browns and just these two browns, and then the rest of it is like all awesome colors. So I feel like this was this was a way underrated palette for Morphe. Like, it didn't get any attention at all. This is the Boss Mood palette. I'm not getting rid of this. I fucking love it. I love every color in it. Yeah, I'm not getting rid of that. This is the original Jaclyn Hill palette, and honestly, like, I don't give a fuck about this palette, but I'm keeping it because other people, when I do other people's makeup, this is a really good palette for like doing makeup on people for their wedding, or like doing makeup on people. Like, most people are squares, like this is their thing. So I'm honestly keeping this palette to do makeup on other people. I will never fucking use this on myself. This is the Morphe Icy Fantasy 35i palette. I just did a 2 looks 1 palette. I literally, if for no other reason, I still want to use these purples right here, but I also love these green shimmers right here. And I found that like I don't have anything quite like them in my collection. And so I literally am keeping this palette for these 3 colors right here. And I can't wait to use these purples too. I think the purples are going to be really pretty. This is the Morphe 39A. I just got it. It's never been used. As I said, I had it on the way when I was talking so much shit about Morphe on that one video. But some of my favorite artists, this is their favorite palette, and so I really just want to get a chance to use it. To tell you the truth, I mean, upon looking at it, it doesn't look like anything special. I'm pretty sure that at the time it really was. So I don't know, but I'm gonna give this palette a shot and see what happens. I love this color. I love these blues right here. So anyway, the reason why I got it was on sale for like 30% off or something for leap year. So it ended up being like 25 bucks or something, which seemed super affordable at the time. So this is my Morphe James Charles palette. This is what it looks like on the outside. This is what it looks like on the inside. Every time I tell myself I'm getting rid of this, I find a fucking reason to keep it. I should just fucking declutter it. Why do I keep it? I'm going to put this in my use it or lose it pile. I know I have used it. I did that green look with it, but I just keep waiting to do something with it that I fucking love. You know what I mean? But really, that's not whatever happens. This is the 39S Such a Gem palette by Morphe. I fucking love this palette. It's not going anywhere. I don't consider this a purple palette, so it wouldn't be like in my battle of the purple palettes, but well, maybe. It's just so fucking pretty, and it has so many awesome colors. This is really a go-to palette, like if I want a pink or purple look, but at this point, I have so many pink and purple palettes. It's crazy how many pink and purple palettes I have, but they're not quite like that one. And honestly, like, some people don't really like big palettes like that, like with a lot of colors, but I do. Like, I love having a lot of options. And okay, so now I'm gonna show you guys my Urban Decay Naked palettes. I have 2. I have the Naked Heat and I have the Naked Cherry. And quite frankly, I never use either one of them. I never even look at them. This is this. As I've said numerous times, I think I can get the exact same looks from other palettes that I have. This is the Naked Heat. I love the idea of both of them, but they never quite look as glamorous as what I wanted them to when I put them on. And they're $49 a piece. So the truth is, like, I really love like an orange. I love an orange palette, but I don't really love a warm tone brown palette. If you can see, like, this really has those pops of orange, and this really is just a bunch of warm tone browns, which don't ever look as warm as I want them to because I don't like brown. So I think I'm going to declutter this, and I think I'm actually going to declutter, let me see. I think this is kind of that same deal with the Color Story and the Carnival XL Pro palette. I just as soon pull that out and use it. So I think I'm going to declutter both of these. They're just fucking boring. It's like a 9-pan monochromatic palette, only it's $50 fucking dollars, and it's like 12 pans and it's $50. Okay, so I'm gonna go into Huda. Here again, here's another palette, like 57 fucking dollars I paid for this palette, and it's literally like cool tone neutrals. I mean, it's okay. I mean, these shimmers, when you swatch them, they look like they're gonna be supremely foiled because of this like special formula, but honestly, they're just really the same as every other foil. It's hard to declutter a palette when you paid almost $60 for it. I just don't need this. I'm never gonna wear it. It's a fucking waste. It's just going to waste. All these nudie fucking basic bitch palettes, they're just not for me. Okay, so the next Huda beauty is the Amethyst Obsessions, and I actually have two of these. I have the Topaz Obsessions, and I have the Amethyst Obsessions, and honestly, like, these are both really good palettes, but this Color Story just doesn't, this type of purple doesn't really, like, do anything for me. These shimmers in the middle are fucking bomb, dude. All three of them are fucking bomb. Oh my god. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can see that, but these shimmers are fucking off the hook. And actually, that fucking top shimmer right there is exactly like something that I just got rid of. Maybe the Morphe Bling Boss palette. Yeah, actually, I think I'm going to keep this for just another little minute, just because those shimmers are fucking pretty out of this world. But this, I am definitely keeping. I literally did a look in like 5 minutes with this, and it looked so fucking good. It makes my eyes look so blue. Like, I love this fucking palette. So, yeah, I'm going to keep this for one more go around and see if I don't use it a little bit more. And, yeah, so there. And these are my Huda Neon Obsessions, and I love both of these. They're not going anywhere. I think they're the shit. I did not get the green one because there were so many weird, like, unmatching shimmers in that, but I actually wish I had it, so if I could find an affordable way to get it, I probably would. These are fucking badass. They're not quite as pigmented as the Neon Drip by Poppi Cosmetics, but they really complement that palette well, and so I'm just all about this Color Story. It's fucking badass. The problem with these is that there's no real way to get any real dimension with these, and I feel like that Poppi, that Neon Drip palette can kind of help with that because they're a little darker and a little more pigmented, so they can actually add dimension to these colors. This is taking so fucking long. Oh my god. Okay, these are my Lime Crime palettes, and I'm just going to start with my first one, the Venus XL. Or no, my OG palette was the original Venus palette. It looks like this. I still love it. It's got these warm tone, grungy, this orange, this maroon. I fucking love this palette. I love these looks. The truth is, if I'm looking for a grungy, orangey brown, I don't need any more than just this. It's ridiculous that I feel like I need 70 fucking brown oranges. But then this is the Venus XL Pro. And it's a kind of the same deal. We've got these nice like rust warm colored reds and browns, this one, and then we've got a little bit of pink and all these maroons. This whole thing together makes a badass grungy fucking baller look. I love those palettes. This is the Venus 2. I fucking love this. I just got it. If you guys don't remember, I bought it from Mercari and I love it. I can't wait to have more of an opportunity to use it. It fucking looked so good. I can't even believe it. This is the Venus 3. I love every fucking one of the colors in this. I love every look I've ever created with this. This is like a go-to for me. Like I literally like grab it like that. If I don't know what to grab, I grab a pink shirt and I grab this. And like I know I'm going to look hot as fuck. And then the Venus Immortalis. This was one of those cool tone moves that I didn't realize how much I was going to love. And I absolutely did love it. The truth of it is, I feel like if I'm going to go with a neutral look, I would rather do a cool tone neutral look than brown. Brown is just so fucking boring to me. Here is the Sugar Pill palettes that I have. I have the Fun Size Mini palette, Fun Size Mini color palette. This is the Color Story. I still have to do a Pop This Palette's Cherry. In fact, I have a lot of palettes here that you guys have never seen that I've never used yet because I literally got so much shit all at once because I have a fucking disease. And so anyway, I'm going to use that. And then I have my Sugar Pill first edition of the capsule collection. Hilarious. And then the second edition as well. This is the pink edition and the orange edition. Yeah, these aren't going anywhere. I am so inspired by these. This is the Color Story in the orange edition. And here again, these are those pops of neutral, brown, warm tone browns. Like, why do I need anything more than this? I fucking don't. This is all the warm tone fucking browns I need. And then this Color Story is like more up my alley. Okay, so I have two palettes from Strobe Cosmetics, which is now Shroud Cosmetics, but mine still have Strobe Cosmetics. I have the Creepy Q palette. It looks like this. It's a pastel palette. It's literally like years old and it's like still the best pastel palette. Like there are pastel palettes that have more options. There are pastel palettes that have additions to this, but as far as pigment goes, you're not going to find, I mean, to this day, this is the reigning champion of the world right here. And plus aesthetic wise, this is like so much more me than any other pastel palette. This is me. Creepy cute. Me. And then I also have the Divinity palette and I've never used it, not even once. I literally waited and waited and waited until they were both in so that I could get the deal to get them both. And I've literally never used this and I'm fucking decluttering it. It's brand fucking new. Okay, and then my Menagerie, I have the Feral palette, Menagerie Cosmetics. It looks like this. It used to be Makeup Monsters and they rebranded and this was the first thing that they came out with when they rebranded. Look at these little tiny fairies. They're so cute. But this is the Color Story. I honestly, this used to be like more of a color story than I used to be able to handle. Like this is like, and then this color Pack Leader is very similar to these orangey reds that I have here. And now I love this palette. Like this palette makes so much sense to me, but it took me years of owning this palette. Like I've owned this palette for probably 2 years and I just used it for the first time ever recently on a video because I think my makeup skills are actually improving. What I see when I look at palettes is like starting to improve. And then this is the Whalesong palette and I actually did a 3 looks 1 palette for you guys, but I never uploaded it. It was one of the ones that I did a 3 looks 1 palette. And if you guys are interested in seeing me do a 3 looks 1 palette with this, you should let me know because this is literally one of the easiest, most versatile fucking palettes I have ever seen. Like there is no colors that don't match in this palette. I mean, and these shimmers, I use this one on my, oh my God, it's so chunky. It's amazing. Look at that. I used this in my coronavirus look the other day, but literally all of these shimmers, Menagerie shimmers are like untouchable. This is Whalesong. Oh, and this is Splash. Fuck this palette, man. Fuck me. This fucking palette gives me a fucking braingasm. This fucking thing right here. And then this is the Violet Ink palette, and I've actually never used this before. I accidentally stuck my fingernail in this fucking pan the other day. Just checking because these pans come out, but like, I literally always think like, am I gonna pull that out and then my fingernail is gonna fucking sink into that? Yes, in the fuck it is. So anyway, I haven't used this yet. I still need to pop this palette's cherry, and I'm going to do that for you guys. And so yeah, I haven't touched that, but I love Menagerie. Okay, so my Ace Beauté palette. I know this is a really long video, you guys. If you don't make it through it, I totally get it. Anyway, this is my Ace Beauté collection. My first Ace Beauté palette was this Grandiose palette. The color story looks like this. Here again, this warm tone brown right here has my dick hard. It's got me by the balls. Like, it has me so fucking color whipped. I can't fucking let it go. And so, yeah, I keep it because I love it. And also this color Primrose. Dude, look at that shit. I think my second... Actually, I think I bought the Flare palette, which looks like this. And this is the color story. Fucking... Seriously, such a bomb palette. Everything about this palette, every single row, it makes so much sense to me. The colors just go together. These shimmers are bomb. I love Ace Beauté's formula. And then this is the Oceanic palette, which I got this later by itself. This is the color story. I don't even need to say anything about it. This palette is the fucking bomb. This green right here, all this whole thing is like fucking one of my favorite palettes that I have, actually. This is Paradise Fallen. This is the color story. Fucking tits. Titties. This is the Ace Beauté Blossom Passion, and it's a pink palette. I mean, honestly, it's probably one of the only really pink palettes that I own. I love this fucking thing. It's so pretty. Every look I've ever done on this is so beautiful, and I'm totally keeping that. This is the Slice of Paradise palette, and you guys know I actually just did a use it or lose it video on this. This is the color story, and you guys know I fell in love with this color Peacock, this purple right here, this shimmer purple. It's just so beautiful. Like, I love it. So yeah, I'm keeping this. All of my Ace Beauté. I love this formula. Honestly, this is probably my least favorite Ace Beauté palette, and I've really actually never used this. It's going to make it through this declutter just because it's Ace Beauté, but I'm probably going to end up either getting rid of it or using it or losing it, right? All right, I'm going to start with Melt. My first Melt stack was... So Melt used to come in these stacks, and they were super... So I waited for probably a year for this Melt stack to come back. It's the She's in Parties stack, and I saw It's Likely Makeup, Jordy, do a look with this Melt stack and literally waited for it to come back into stock for so long, probably a year. And when it finally did, by the time it did, I had already bought this, which is the Baby Girl stack. I'll show you guys what this looks like. This is the Baby Girl stack, and fuck, I love this. This thing's pricey. I'm pretty sure that this stack is $58. It's at least $48, and I think this is at least, I think it's $38 or $48 for the She's in Parties stack. But I bought this while I was the Baby Girl stack, while I was waiting for the She's in Parties stack. And then I just watched a couple Atlee. Her name's Ashley. Her channel is Atlee, L-E-E-E-Y. And this is the Rust stack. It's great. I love it. It's just got this dirty... See, these are so inconvenient. It's just this like dirty... It's a Rust stack, right? Well, they just came out with a Rust palette, and it has the original 5 and 6 new ones. So I want to get the palette and get rid of this stack because the swatches from the palette look way better. Like, the formula is way improved. I still love the stack, but I'd rather have the palette and get rid of the stack. The stacks are super inconvenient, but they don't travel that well. I mean, like, I just fucking rammed the fucking edge of that. You can see where I just rammed that edge into the color beneath it right there. Now it's like scratchy. They do that in your backpack and it's fucked. So this is the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette, and this is fucking like, I've literally, every time I have somebody that I want to do something like unusual and unique on them that they would never see coming, I use this. This, you don't fucking see it coming. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know anything about color, you look at these colors and you think they're ugly, but dude, when they're on, like, they do something transformative to your fucking eyes and your face that you did not see coming if you don't know, you know. So this is like, this is never going anywhere. If I run out of this, I will buy another one. Like, that will never not be in my collection. And you guys know the Melt Amore Eternal collection. the the Vita palette and the Muerte palette. This is what the Vita palette looks like. It's fucking bomb. My favorite green look that I've ever done was with this. It's fucking out of this world. And then the Muerte palette, the most problems I've ever had with the palette was with this palette, and I don't know if it was because of my expectations, but I'm never getting rid of either one of these, so they're never going anywhere. But I think each one of these palettes is $58. So my Makeup Revolution palettes, I have the Tasty Popcorn that looks like this, the Sweet and Tasty Popcorn palette. The Color Story looks like this. I don't love this palette particularly. It was a gift from a friend, and so it's honestly the first gift that I've ever been given by a friend that was a palette. Like my friends don't buy me palettes because what the fuck would they buy me, right? So she just bought this for me, and I don't particularly love the quality. I love the packaging, and I love that my friend bought it for me, so I'm keeping it. And then the Tasty Avocado, I love this fucking palette. It's $15. It's an all green palette, and literally, like, I love it. The Color Story is bomb. The packaging is an A fucking plus. Everything about this palette rocks. Okay, so my Kaleidos. I only have 4. I wish I had the other one, but I can't justify spending $25 on a teal palette with one pop of orange. I have so many teals. I will buy it eventually just to put it in my collection, but right now is not the time for that. So this is the Futurism one. This is the green palette. I love this brand, by the way. This is the Color Story. These shimmers are fucking phenomenal. Literally, look at that. These guys' shimmer formula is probably one of the best in the biz, like straight up. Oh my god. Boom. I love that goldy green one that looks a little bit just dingy. Okay, so this is the Kaleidos Futurism 2. Oh, that's the Sci-Fi green. This is Cyber Bronze. Do I have this Color Story 1,000 times? Yes. Do I have it with these shimmers? It's fucking disputable, dude. Ooh, look at those. Oh, boom. Yeah, you can't beat it. So this is the Astro Pink. Astro Pink Futurism 3. Wait a minute. Oh, it does look really similar to that blue in the... It does have that pink shift. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see the pink shift? The same as that. Oh, can you see it right here? I think you can. It has the same pink shift as that Francation palette. So this is the pink shimmer, or that it's like a lavender silver. Oh my god. These are the best. And then this is the Futurism 4 VR Neon. I love this fucking palette. In fact, I'm going to do a palette. I'm going to compare this palette to the Poppi Cosmetics and also to the Huda Beauty Neon Obsessions. So you guys can look forward to that. In fact, I'm going to put it off to the side. This pink shift right here and the orange, both. It's literally like one of the best pinks that there is. Of shimmers anyways. To tell you the truth, I'm actually a little bit embarrassed of how many ABH palettes I have, just because like I didn't think I was that big of an ABH fan, but I guess I fucking am. Like I don't buy every ABH palette, but like I buy the fuck a lot of them. So I'm just gonna start with this is the first palette I ever bought. Well, it wasn't the very first palette. It was actually, this is the Color Story. I love it. Nothing can take its place. It's very similar to the Venus. I love it. These warm tone browns. This was the original. I mean, this is like, I learned how to do makeup with this palette. So I love it. I love the Color Story still. This was probably, I mean, this wasn't my second palette, but this was my second ABH palette. This right here, these like weird browns right here really change everything for this palette. I fucking love this palette. I've worn it so many times. I have this one pair of leggings. I wear this palette with them every single time to this day. I love the Color Story. I love the way that weird eccentric, it's called eccentric. It just changes everything and it turns everything just grungy and filthy. I love it. This is so this is what that one looks like, the Norvina palette. This is the original Norvina palette. And then Sultry, I didn't have any interest in this whatsoever. This is what the color story looks like. I love it. I love these weird ember, steampunk, teak, these weird like steampunk colored chrome. To me, this palette is like fucking Mad Max. It just is. And so like there's like a rose gold in that pop of pink, but that's just like being a girl. Like if you're a girl, you like that pop of pink, but this says Mad Max, like Fury Road to me. So when I wear it, I feel like super sultry, but like in a like dirty, like grungy way. Soft Glam had to have been next. So this is the Soft Glam palette. And this is a neutral palette, like a basic bitch palette that I literally am like so happy that I have. So like maybe I should stop like keeping basic bitch palettes that I'm not happy that I have, because there are basic bitch palettes that I have that I am fucking happy. I love this palette. I always feel so beautiful when I wear this palette, and like these warm tone browns, like I love this palette. So like I feel like so soft. Like honestly, like I feel like each one of these palettes like depicts exactly what it says it's going to. So I don't not love that palette, and so maybe I should stop trying to keep palettes that I don't love. Okay, this is the Subculture palette. So this palette got so many bad reviews and like so many people hated it that I never got it. And I found it was 20 bucks at TJ Maxx, and this is the color story, and I'm so fucking glad that I bought this palette. This is literally one of my favorite palettes of all time. Now, I will say that when all of that was going on, I wasn't good enough to use this palette. I wasn't good enough to make sense of this color story or like do anything with it, but I'm so grateful that I have this palette. Okay, so, and this color Electric, I'm just gonna swatch this for you guys. This is that shit, right? Ooh, I don't know if you guys can see that magic. I wore this with my fairy pixie girl look that I did when I did my Get Ready With Me. I'll link that in the cards up right here. There will be an eye. You can watch that video if you want. This is like a transformative magical shade that has like a crazy badass shift. It really changed that whole look into something like magical, from something like pretty common to like something magical. This palette is fucking badass. I literally, every look I've ever done with this looks so fucking professional and like next level. It's just, the colors are so rich and contemporary. They just look, there's just something really fucking special about this palette. This, the Jackie Aina palette, cover looks like this. It's snakeskin. I've literally done one look with this palette and I've never used it again. However, I just subscribed to a guy named Mascara Masquerade, and he did a look with this palette that made me really interested in using it. I'm definitely gonna copy that look. Not copy it, but like use the colors that he used, because like I fucking know that like those are the colors that I was drawn to, but the shimmers in this palette are so fucking like unique, all of them. This color right here, that Sponsored, remember that I said that brown and green shift? This right here is like so, Lituation is like so sexy and sultry and dusty. It's just got that fucking thing. And this color Zam is like whatever, like forget about it. And Soleil is one of the best inner corner highlights. So anyways, I love this palette. I want to use it more now. This is the Riviera palette, and honestly, this is a palette that I literally hate it. I hate this fucking palette. I've never used it. I always want to, then I look at it and it just doesn't make any sense to me. I keep it for these shimmers, but the truth is they're really not that fucking great. There's that dusty magenta color, but it's not even that good. See, there's that teal or that turquoise color, but dude, it's not that great. Like this, fuck this palette. I'm never gonna use it. I'm fucking getting rid of it. I'll tell you what, this color Mediterranean, that fucking color that I swatched from the Jeffree Star palette, ice whatever, I'm decluttering this palette. I'm fucking getting rid of it. Okay, and then these I just got in the mail yesterday, so definitely not decluttering them, but I feel like because I got them, I got the Norvina Pro 2 and 3. I didn't get the 1 yet. They had a buy one, get one 50% off. These palettes are really expensive, and so because I could get them for 50% off, it made it affordable enough. I basically got these palettes for the same price as I would have paid for their regular size palettes. This is the color story. These warm tone browns, again, oranges. They're like not really warm tone browns. They're fucking oranges, right? And I mean, the packaging, everything about this palette, it's just fucking beautiful. I've been wanting them for a while. I'm so grateful that I got to get them. I probably shouldn't have, but you know, because we're supposed to go into scarcity mode where everybody's fucking like doesn't want to spend any money because they're scared they're not going to be able to pay their bills, but they're also scared the economy is going to crash, which it is if we all get scared to spend any fucking money. So it's ridiculous, and this video is going to be so long nobody's actually going to hear that part. So anyway, this is the blue-green one. I fucking love it. It's so amazing. I can't wait to do looks with it. These blues are like like super stellar, like totally bright. These greens, yeah, I'm gonna fucking knock it out of the park with these. Forgot one palette. I forgot my Norvina Mini. The color story looks like this. This is my birthday palette. I love every fucking thing about this palette. It's amazing. It rocks my world. Anyway, that's it. Is that all, you might say? You're saying, really, Katie? Is that all the palettes that you have? But I actually fucking kind of kicked ass at this declutter. I got rid of, oh, well, not that many actually, but I've got 3 on the chopping block, the use it or lose it pile, and I've got 2 in the maybe pile. Now, so I'm going to either keep the Thirsty palette or I'm going to keep the Fierce by Nature palette. I have a feeling that the Thirsty palette is a little bit better quality, but am I wrong? I'm just doing a little swatchy poo, a little swatch comparison here. Look at those 2 colors. They are fucking identical. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep the Fierce by Nature palette and I'm going to declutter the Thirsty palette. Sorry, I love Jeffree Star, don't get me wrong, but I literally only use 3 colors. These 4 colors right here are the only fucking colors I use in this palette ever. It's the only colors I ever have used, so I'm decluttering it. So I got rid of 11 palettes and I have 3 on the use it or lose it list. And here's what my collection looks like. This is what we just built together, you guys. Doesn't that look awesome? If you guys made it to the end of this video, you're fucking crazy, but thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video. Hang out with me down in the comments, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you can see every time I upload. I know that this video was like super long, but they're not usually this long. So anyways, I know you guys could have been anywhere, but you were spending your time hanging out with me for a long ass fucking time, and I totally appreciate you.